Hello everyone, and thanks for hanging out with me. Here I have the Cupra Born and the Volkswagen ID.3, and today I want to go in detail what the difference is between those two cars. Number one is the light. Both have LED headlights, but the ID.3 can have matrix LED headlights. Difference is that, for example, when you go into a corner, this can move, and so with your steering the light can move into the corner. Both have auto high beams, but in the ID.3 with the matrix LED it can keep the high beams on and just filter out cars that are in front of you or coming towards you. The next is the backup camera. In the Cupra Born, the camera is always out, but very low. In the ID.3, it's behind this logo and it's hidden away. Positive and negatives. Negative with the Cupra Born that when it gets wet or dirty, you can't see very well, and also like I said, the perspective is very low. In the ID.3 it's higher, the perspective is amazing, it's always clean. Only negative here is when you reverse into somewhere and then you need something out of the trunk, you have to wait till this retracts so you can get into the trunk. A difference that I noticed, and I don't know if it's because this Cupra Born is pretty new and my car is 2.5 years old, but when I put my car into drive, I don't hear the pedestrian warning sound, so the driving sound, so pedestrians can hear you. In the Cupra Born, you can hear it right away, even when you're standing. In my car, it's only when I'm driving. Very interesting is the difference in keyless entry. With the Cupra Born, when you get close to the car, it doesn't unlock. You have to touch the door handle, then it unlocks. The same with locking. And of course you can open the trunk when you have the key inside, but it doesn't unlock. Good thing here is when you're charging AC, it doesn't unlock your cable, but you can also change that in the settings as it doesn't do that automatically. In my ID.3, I have the setting on that when I get close to the car, it unlocks, and that is amazing when you have other people also wanting to get into the car without a key and you're already close. You don't have to be right at the door handle, it just unlocks and everybody can get in, even when you're just in the back of the trunk, and I like that a lot. Something very interesting, and I don't know if the trunk is opening differently or the Born is just lower, but in my garage at home, when I open my ID.3, I'm touching the garage door, but also on the roof, but the Cupra Born does not, so it's 1 or 2 centimeters lower. One big difference that the cars have, even though they have the same motor in the rear, the Cupra Born can have a boost function where it gives you 170 kilowatt instead of 150 in the ID.3. But there will be an ID.3 GTX in a few months, maybe next year, with 210 kilowatt, only rear wheel drive. Let's get inside the car. First, ambient light in the ID.3. I have it here, here, under the middle here, and here. In the Cupra Born, I only have it here and in the middle console. The grip in the door here in the Cupra Born, I can only do it here, and it's very wide. In the ID.3, the grip to close the door is way thinner and easier to use. In the ID.3, I have a few buttons underneath the screen, and I have 2 phone holders where the cable doesn't come out of the holder, it comes out from back here. With the Cupra Born, I don't have buttons underneath, and I only have 1 phone holder, and the cable is also in here, and a lot of the times I put my phone in there and the phone falls back because it's just held by this tiny little thing here. The Born has on the steering wheel drive mode button, so with this button you can go through all the drive modes, and with the Cupra button you get into drive mode Cupra and you press again into performance. The steering wheel buttons have a different layout and also work in a different way. Where in the ID.3 you can press or slide for volume, next song, the view, or the speed of the cruise control. But if you want 1 kilometer an hour more or less for cruise control, you have to press light, and if you want it strong, it's either 110 kilometers an hour change, you have to slide or press hard. In the Born, it's a press and a slide to change something. So if you just slide, nothing is happening. You have to press and slide. And this works for volume and for next song or previous song. For cruise control it's totally different. So this press and slide is 10 kilometers an hour more or less, depending on where you slide to. But again, press and slide. But set is 1 kilometers an hour less and resume is 1 kilometer an hour more. If you like to turn off lane assist in the Cupra Born, you just press on your favorites and then lane assist off. But this screen doesn't go away. You have to press again here for the favorites, so it's gone. With the Id.3 I have to go to assist, then up here, and then lane assist on off, and then I have to close it again. In the Id.3 I have eco, comfort and sport mode. In the Cupra Born I have range, comfort, performance, Cupra. Woohoo! The individual is on both cars. Climate is something very different in both cars. In the Cupra Born I can press climate here on the screen. I have my steering wheel heater here, and the view where the airstream goes, you can press on the screen that you can see, and you can see with the color of the air if it's heating or cooling. This is awesome. But if you want to change the temperature, you have to use the buttons underneath. You cannot do it in this screen. Only if you press up here for the temperature, then you can change it. And if you want your seat heating, again you have to press up here and change seat heating. In the Id.3 you have everything in one window. You press climate, and then you have the temperature, where the air goes, your seat heater and your steering wheel heater all in one screen. But if you go out, you cannot change anything. You can only press here to get back to your climate. In the Id.3 you have a different home screen design, where you can have a big button, a smaller button and tiny buttons, and you can arrange them in a way that you want. And you have different kinds of things. In the Cupra Born they all have the same size, but you can switch through them. So you can have different music things or different reports. You have your map here, but it's all the same size, and you can rearrange them and change them the way that you want. The trip meter overview I find weird. Yes, I can switch between the 3 different trips that I have, but it shows me my range here, not the kilometers or the time that I have driven. When I go into drive data, I have the kilometers, average speed, average consumption and the time. But here I have just average consumption, the kilometers, and then my range. In the Id.3 I have the full view of all the data, even instant consumption in my drive data. And if I go into the full screen, there's not a difference, it's just smaller and has a different design, but the same info. What is nice with the Cupra Born, when you go on your favorite, you have a button, you don't scroll down, and you see them right away. In your notifications you have to slide over. In the Id.3 the favorites are when you scroll down, and then you're automatically in notifications. If you want your favorites, you have to scroll over every time. But very interesting that there are so many little differences outside of the car, how they built it, where the backup camera is, then inside, and then of course in the software on the screen. Both are still amazing cars. I love to drive them both. But that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.